It is my pleasure to welcome His Excellency Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, the President of the Republic of Zambia. Your Excellency, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Your Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of the UAE, Your Excellencies, Head of State and Government, Secretary General of the United Nations, Executive Secretary of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, Mr. Simon Steele, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor and privilege for me to address you all at this very important climate summit. I also wish to thank the government, the people of UAE for their hospitality to all the delegations since we came here. We've all been looked after very well. Allow me to first and foremost commend Your Highness and the government of the UAE for all of the things that you've been doing over the years in working towards mitigating climate change. This summit, ladies and gentlemen, comes at a time when the world is recording unprecedented levels of temperatures, high temperatures all over the world, and it's sending a clear message that action is needed now, in fact yesterday and not tomorrow. We, as Africa, as Zambia, are clear that this summit comes at a time when we cannot tolerate, absolutely not, any lack of action or suboptimal actions at this stage if we are to save our globe from climate damage. It is clear that only a paradigm shift going forward, will enable us to address the challenge of climate change effectively and ensure that we avert the devastating effects thereof. We have been on a business as usual path for too long. We cannot continue. Your Excellencies, let me hasten to say that the just transition is inevitable. And in Africa, we have already embarked on a journey where we are working towards ensuring that our energy mix comes from a renewable source base that is acceptable and will meet the minimums that are required to save our planet. We need strong international collaboration in this respect in order for us to successfully undertake the completion of the first global stocktake under the Paris Agreement. We look forward to strengthened commitments that will inform immediate and future climate action, including clear pathways to achieve emission reductions, enhance resilience, and the necessary finance flows to all the needy countries, especially the developing countries. It is also very important that confidence in this multilateral process is restored by delivering on previous commitments that were made. Zambia and Africa as a whole boast of resources, forests, that can help mitigate climate change. But it's very important that as we do what we call carbon trading, one, the markets must be structured, clearly structured, and very unambiguous. Number two, the pricing of the carbon credits is standardized so that the providers of those resources and the communities that live around there can get a fair return for looking after these forests, for the work they've been doing and the dependence they have on these forests. And only then are we able to attract those communities into the mitigation measures that are necessary. Your Excellencies, this COP28 as a COP of action requires to do a number of things. One, to ensure that the loss and damage fund is fully operational. And we want to thank the countries that have made the contributions towards this fund. Number two, to undertake a comprehensive global stocktake exercise and identify clear interventions to bridge the glaring gaps in meeting the goal of the Paris Agreement. Number three, adopt a robust framework on the global goal on adaptation, complete with indicators to ensure that we can collectively track progress in building resilience. Number 4, Your Excellencies, share experiences and best practices, especially the countries of the North that have advanced in this area already need to share these best practices with the developing countries. And finally, Your Highness, you can count on the support of the African Group of Negotiators and Zambia in ensuring that we support all efforts needed to mitigate the negative effects of climate change. As failure is not an option, we all have to succeed, and we have a responsibility to act correctly. I thank you for your kind attention.
I thank you, Your Excellency, for your statement.